Assalamu alaikum. Sulaiman Rahim here, Master of the Covenant, breaker of the seven seals. Sisters and brothers, we're going to talk about the son of perdition. Fire zone. This is also the fire zone. Sisters and brothers, son of perdition. Who is the son of perdition? The scriptures talk about it. We're supposed to watch out for him. He's supposed to be destroyed at the time that the Christ appears. So if we see the Christ, if we believe, as you spiritual brothers and sisters, if we believe this Christ is supposed to appear soon, then son of perdition had to be here 42 years. What it says, he had to be here for the last 42 years. He had to be sitting in Elijah's seat. But see, brothers and sisters, we're not here to convince you of anything, because we just give you the facts. See, this is the no bullshit zone. See, we stop the bullshit. We just give you the facts. But see, some people don't want to know the facts. They're interested in the facts. See, but they're not in the mind zone. They're in the heart zone. They're interested in entertainment, whether they like you or not. Perfume, sugar, wine, see, music. That's what moves them. Facts? Who in the hell want some facts? No, when I can turn on, right, Jay-Z, when I get me some wine and some smoke, see, when I then tap one of the sisters out there, see, what the hell I need some facts for? Man, I'm dealing with life. I don't need the damn facts. See, I'm partying, man. See, I got my little car out there, my little BMW. You know what I'm saying? See, I'm vaping, or whatever they call it. You see? And I got Beyonce, right? Now she's on the radio. My favorite video. What the hell I need some damn facts for? See? And that's exactly the whole point. To keep you mesmerized, to pacified, while they close in on you. See? Because it says it's going to come as a snare. The day has come as a snare. So we're not trying to convince you of anything, brothers. We're putting the facts out there. But those of you who care about facts, because they said this son of perdition, what we're going to talk about, they said the people with him, they didn't have no love of facts. They didn't care about facts. Truth? What the hell? There wasn't no truth. Truth is in this pipe, bro. Crack pipe, that's the truth. Understand? See? Jay-Z popping. That's the truth, man. Ain't you with it? No? I got my piece over here. That's the truth. You ain't got it. You ain't figured out yet. See, that's where it's coming from. That's the truth. Anything else, you won't hear it. See? Because they did. These people that's ripping them off wouldn't be ripping them off, because they use the very thing that they love to take their substance from them. See, they give them. You go to the churches, man. You might as well go to a what they call those things? Where they go and party at. I can't remember the name of it, right? Might as well go out to a concert. Yeah, they might as well go out to a concert. They got the choir, they got the whole 9 yards to keep you rocking. keep you excited because you ain't going no boring church. And the more they get you rocking, they loosen up your pocket. And the more money you put out there, you say, oh man, Reverend Dickenpower, man, he was really, he was getting down today, man. That choir, oh man, it was hot. They don't talk about what they were saying. They don't talk what they were saying. They talk about all the, ambiance. See, all the background. See, that's the way it is. See? Then you come home, lay back, turn on NBA, NFL. And the monkeys rocking around with your ball. Hey man, look at it, man. This guy dude, man, he got that shot. Oh, that was a layup. And at the end of it, what did you get? All you got was excitement. You got nothing up here. Nothing, zero. See, when you could have been learning something, reading a book, the time you spend watching NFL, you could have got a degree in something. We'll talk about that another time too. See, you could have been learning something because you were talking about you want these jobs and everything, but you can't put down the resume that you know all about the NFL and the NBA. You can't put on the resume. You can't put that on there. So since I said that, I'm gonna just take a little segue before we move in. They keep running this stuff down here about prayer. I just gotta talk about this for a minute, brothers and sisters. Prayer. See, this is the fire zone. See, and we stop the bullshit here because we do some analysis. See, we appeal to your mind. See, these other people appeal to your heart. Oh, have faith. That's a heart situation. That's a mind situation. That's a heart situation. Have faith. That means you have no idea what's going to happen or not. I mean, there's some mentality in there, right? Because faith, if you understand faith itself, right, is tethered to some facts. So it's not totally a mind thing, totally a heart thing. But the heart is, that's part of it because you got to have faith in the people even telling you this kind of stuff. They got to ease up on you. They got to see. That's why you said these people ease up on you. Oh, they be nice to you and everything. Because the Jehovah's Witnesses and the Mormons and the Christians, they ease up on you. They be nice to you. They get you to feel good about them, and then they brought this faith thing on you. So this is hard. There's a hard component to it, right? You see. But let's look at this prayer things objectively. Now they'll tell you prayer works. They pray and God answers them. That's what they tell you. Some of them tell you God speaks to them. Oh, the Holy Ghost spoke to me, or God spoke to me. And they tell you that prayer works and you should pray. Then you say, well, if that's the case, then why do you even go to work? Why don't you pray for $1 billion? Why even go to school? Why not pray for the knowledge? Because you say God gives you knowledge. God is the author of knowledge and wisdom. He's the one that gives you knowledge and wisdom. So what the hell are you going to school for? Ask God for knowledge and wisdom. Just ask him for it. You say he answers your prayers. So why you running up this student loan? You just pray for it. See? What if you need to pray for it? Why are you praying for? Oh man, I need to get my rent this month. Why don't you pray for $1 billion? Why don't you pray to own hold the complex? See, why don't you go big? Because you say your God is all powerful. He can do anything. He's no limitations. So if your God, if your father was a billionaire, would you go ask for 25 cents a quarter? You say, no, man, you can ask for $2,000 if he's a billionaire. You talking about give me a dime. He wouldn't even know what a dime is. You see? So why are you wasting your time? Wasting your time doing all that stuff. Just stay on your knees and pray for everything you want. Just pray for it. If prayer is so powerful, and your God is all powerful, like you say, and he answers your prayers, so why can't I go big? Like I say, go big or go home. See? Stop the bullshit. The Quran says you must pray. So you have no understanding what they're talking about there. You see? Because they tell you what it says in the Quran. God does not change a people's condition until they change their own condition. Can't you analyze that statement? Your condition not going to be changed unless you change it. God helps those who help themselves. That's biblical. That means if you don't help yourself, you don't get helped. They tell, oh man, I pray for this. And then the thing is, the Hindus say the same thing. The Buddhists say the same thing. See? The Jews say the same thing. So they all say, so who are they praying to? They praying to somebody else, but their prayers are answered. They say the same thing. You see, stop the bullshit. Just stop the bullshit. You want something, go and get it. Get up off your damn knees and go and get it. While you're on your knees, they didn't build this world off of prayer. They didn't build this world they have off of prayer. They built off of mathematics, solid mathematics. And you don't have no cars that run off of Christianity, no cars that runs off of the power of Jesus, no planes that run off of Hinduism, no machines that run off of Buddhism. You understand? So in other words, if those are true realities, how come they can't produce anything real? If you say that true reality, you say Christianity is a true reality. That's what you say. It's a true reality. Then how come it can't produce anything that's real? You say Hinduism is a true reality. How come you can't produce a Hindu God that runs off Hindu power? Or Buddhist power, or Christian power? Why can't you produce that? Because they're not real. The only true reality is the one that you're ignoring is mathematics. That's why the mathematicians, America adopted mathematics, and now they're kicking everybody in the ass with mathematics. Not with spirit bombs, not with flying carpets, not with prayer beads, not with 6-armed statues. They're beating their ass with mathematics. And all the religions are being beat down with mathematics. And they have no reply. None of those religions have any reply. They're all submitting to mathematics. They're all being beaten down. They submit or they're beaten down by mathematics. So who's king? They say Allah Akbar. Well, mathematics must be Allah because that's what's beating everybody down. Now they may be misusing it, but they still use it. A tool is a tool. Whether you misuse it or not, it's still a tool. Fire is fire. See? You misuse it or not, it's still going to burn you. So they may misuse mathematics, but they have it. See? They have reality. They have the grasp on reality, and you got to grasp on shit. Because it produces nothing. It's all in your mind. See? So why don't you go ahead and pray that I disappear? Why don't you pray for that? Why don't you go ahead and pray, right? For, like I said, all your needs. See? Why are you praying for $1,000? Pray for $1 billion. Impress us. Show us that your God is all powerful. He can do all these things that you claim they can do. Because it's all bullshit. So get back to our subject, brothers and sisters. No bull. Stop the bullshit. Stop the bullshit. Okay, we're going to talk about the son of perdition. Now that's it. I'm just going to give you the facts. Okay? But you can see, got all these people running around here. Their whole purpose is to keep you away from facts. Keep you in the spiritual world. Keep you out there in la 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 land. See? Because as long as you out there, then you ain't in their mathematical world, so they have no competition from you. Because first of all, the original people are the best mathematicians on the planet. And they know if you get mathematics, you do the same thing that these demons, black demons, are doing with football, baseball, golf, music. Oh, let's take it over. And they are demons. See? They just got some black blood. They got skin tone. They skin folk. They're not kinfolk. See? But they only got some original blood in them from their mother's side. But they demons. They devils. They think like devils, right? But they act like blacks. They talk like blacks. That's sheep, wolves in sheep clothing. See? But they got enough, right? And that's that. Like I said, they just got the skin tone. See? But if you come in with the real McCoy, the real deal, 100% in and out, and they was able to do that, and they only got the skin out, they only got the skin tone on the outside, and they was able to defeat, every time they get their foot in the door, they was able to defeat their master, then what would happen if you came in 100%? They ain't gonna let that happen. They'll do everything to stop them happening, because they know if you rise up, they're through. Because you take America, for instance, America is the most innovative country in the country, most innovative country in the world on this planet. You say, well, Chinese, no, they're not innovative. They copy it. Tell me what idea they came up with that's unique. Nothing. They got internet, they got cars, they got planes, they got military, but it's all a copy of what they got from the Europeans. And you think the Europeans, the same thing. What innovations they come up with? It just copies what they get out of America. All innovation, all the things you know about iPhones, cars, planes, all those things came out of here. So why? Why does it just come out of here? And if the Europeans are so superior, I mean, somebody like Germany was almost hardly any blacks. I mean, some there now, or Russia, they should have been the most innovative, because we're here. That's the big secret that they don't want you to know, because they rob you of your creativity. That's one of the reasons why they don't want to let you go. They don't want to tell you that. So we're gonna move into this, because the demons, what they do, see, the demons play a big part. The demon is the devil's black-faced children from raping black women. That's what a demon is. It means half devil, half man. See, you didn't know what a demon was till I told you, because you thought a demon was some Buffy slated vampire crap. So like you think everything is invisible. None of that stuff is invisible, brothers and sisters. You can't see it because you walk around with fog glasses. The world is not foggy. It's just your glasses are foggy, and you're seeing everything through the filter of your glasses. Because if you take a glass off, you find the world is very clear. It's very easy to see. All these people are very easy to see. You see the angels, you see God, everything is all right there in front of your face. But they got you wearing these fog glasses, and so therefore, right, you think everything is foggy, and you just won't remove those glasses, because there's light switches everywhere. All you gotta do is flip one of them, but you won't flip any of them, because the demons, they are the ones. They're the most worried. The Quran talks about your open enemy. That's right. Your closed and your hidden enemy. That's them. They've been around for 600 years, and we played with them. They say the black community, which numbers approximately 34 million in America, half of them are demons. You see them all over the TV. Those are master's children. That's only they in master's house. You're never going to get there. I'm not going into detail. I've talked about it quite a bit. I'm not going to detail that, but you're never going to get there. See, they're your role models. They tell you if you be like them, obeying master and do all the things that they do, because they're doing it because that's their nature. Then you can be like them. You're going to be like Oprah one day. You're going to be like Denzel. You're going to be like Jay-Z. You're going to never be like them. You understand? Not in this reality. But anyway, I'm going to move into this, because I'm just going to give you the facts here, bro. Just like I said, this is a no bullshit zone. See, we stop the bullshit here. I'm going to give you some facts, and you deal with how you deal with what you want to do with it. Something that you can check out. And in this situation, right, the person I'm identifying, on his website, he has the facts. So you can just go right to his website and see the facts I'm going to show you just now, right now. Okay, let's move into this. Mr. Farrakhan. Now see, he is getting ready to give his exit speech tomorrow. This is Saturday before his so-called Savior's Day. He's going to give his exit speech, the last speech, public speech, right, of his life. That's what they say. It'll be his last public speech, last public appearance. I believe that's what I said. They may even went further than that, but yet he's still not dying. So why? I mean, those folks, they say anything. I mean, so you can't be logical. If he's getting his last one, what, he going to lay back and play golf the rest of his life? That's why he ain't going to be bothering anybody. This is going to be his last public appearance, the last public speech, his exit speech. See? The last one he gave, he couldn't stand up, right? He had to put a table there and he sit down. This one, they might have to carry him in, because he's not giving an auditorium any place. He's getting right there at his mosque in Chicago. A little small place, right? It's not going to be that many people. You can't hold that many people. So, I mean, they got to control the situation because the man can't even walk. The last time he did thing in 2020, that July thing, right? He had to have to be hold him up to walk him to the place where he's going to speak at, the speaker platform. But see, if you follow Exodus, Elijah Muhammad said, if your spiritual brothers, right, and sisters, he says we live in Exodus because that never happened in the past. So that's a simple walk down through Exodus would illuminate your eyes. I mean, pull those fog glass off, and that'll make you wise right there. Just a simple walk down Exodus, which means the departure, get the hell out of there. Because first you got the God, and then you got Elijah, right, or Moses, and then you got Aaron, who was just a spokesman. That's all he was, right? And the God didn't want him, but Moses insisted. Read it, see. And Aaron, what did he do? After the departure of Moses, for 40 some years, he led the people astray. And when Moses and Joshua came, right, came back, see, and Aaron was in control, they separated all Aaron's people away from the people that held on to Elijah, right? And they slaughtered all of Aaron's people, all of them. See, that's Exodus. And then Joshua, which is another name of Jesus, he took the people into the promised land. So we got God first, the God, then Elijah, then this Aaron. For 42 years, he would mislead the people. Then you got the Jesus or Joshua who come and take the people home to the promised land. They call him the messenger of the covenant. Now, if you follow that, then what does that mean? If you just follow that simple little, I mean, your spiritual brother, okay, well, yeah, okay, I agree that. I agree, Elijah, Master Muhammad's the God that came to him. Okay, I'll go along with that. And then I go along with Elijah. But when you get to Farrakhan, get Aaron, all of a sudden, what happens? What's wrong with that part? Because that part tells you exactly who Farrakhan is. See, right there. Exactly. See? But they say they believe in Exodus, but right there somehow it's a snag, a brain fart when you get to Aaron. Because once you get to Aaron, that's it, case closed. See, 40 some years he would mislead the people. Having the golden calf, Sunnism, and all that kind of stuff. See, we're going to see that in a minute. See? So we just follow that path, and and that corresponds to the son of perdition, who was going to deceive the saints for 40 some years. Now the saints inherit the kingdom, but you spiritual brothers that identify with the Nation of Islam, then the saints must be the FOI and the MGT because they're the ones that claim they're going to inherit the kingdom. So that means there's somebody deceiving them because they're going to make war with them and actually overcome them, deceive them for 40 some years until Joshua came and destroyed that son of perdition, right? And freed them of that plague. There you go again. I'm not making anything up. It's very clear. I can go on, right? So let's move on here. Son of perdition. The son of perdition. Now this is what I want to talk about right here. Let me move a little bit. Out the way a little bit here. Now, let me see something right here, brothers and sisters. Okay, that's good. That's good. Now, this document I'm showing you right now is on Farrakhan's website. So you ain't got to say I made it up. It's on his website. That's where I got it from. So those who say, oh, he made, no, I got it on his website. I didn't change one word of it. This file, is the FBI counter, what do they call it? COINTELPRO. I guess that's what he says. They COINTELPRO. COINTELPRO. I guess that's what he pronounced it. COINTELPRO. U.S. government's war against dissent. See, in this case, they're talking about the Nation of Islam. See, so easier to see. Okay. So you read this, see? So I'm not going to go through read all of it. But although the Nation of Islam does not presently advocate violence by its members, the group does preach hatred of whites, of the white race, and racial separation. I mean, why not? I mean, after they're done with us, we want to still stick with them, and we should love them. Come on, see. But they don't want us to do that. They want us to love them in spite of. I mean, if you want to love them after they've done all that to you, what the hell is the point of hatred? God hates. So in other words, we're bigger than God. See. So he says they teach race hatred. Well, why? He's really not really teaching race hatred, right? He's pointing out what they did, right? Because what they did was hateful. See? And racial separation, in other words, you want to get the hell away from them. Wouldn't you want? If somebody was raping you, wouldn't you want to get the hell away from them? And would you love them? If you did, then why you going to stay and leave raped? If you love them, you're supposed to love your enemies, right? So if they rape you, you're supposed to stay and love them. Oh, keep on raping me because I love you. I don't want to go nowhere. Just keep on raping me. Does that sound make sense to you? Because that's what the Christians tell you. See? Back in slavery, oh, boss, I'm not going anywhere. Just keep beating me. Keep raping my mama. Keep beating me. I love you. I don't want to go anywhere. See, that if you listen to what they say, that's what you're supposed to do. That makes sense to you? That's exactly what you're supposed to do. Oh, I love you, master. Master, whooping your ass. I love you, master. I love you. Thank you for whooping my ass. Thank you for raping my sister and her mama. Thank you for raping me. That's the attitude you're supposed to have. You listen to them, their interpretation of the Bible. But yet God talking about the day of vengeance. It says, what you have done shall be done to you. So if you say what has been done, what you've done shall be done to you, who's going to do the doing? And not the people that they did it to. So that sounds like forgiveness to you. Stop the bullshit. Okay. So let's read some of this here. Okay. Let me read a little closer. Real small letters. I should have just did, Okay. Yeah, then one appears to be the personal feature of Elijah Muhammad. When he dies, see, this is the point. When he dies, a power struggle can be expected, and the NOI could change direction. But they want to change the NOI direction. That means away from Elijah Muhammad's. If it changes direction, that means it's away from Elijah Muhammad's direction. I mean, does that make sense to you? Right? We should be prepared for this eventuality. We should plan how to change the philosophy of the NOI. We should plan how to change the philosophy of the NOI to one of strictly religious and self-improvement orientation. Strictly to religious and one of self-improvement orientation. Deleting the race hatred and separate nationhood aspects. Do I need to read that again? We should plan how to change the philosophy of the NOI to one of the strictly religious and self-improvement orientation, deleting the race, hatred, and separate nationhood aspects. Isn't that exactly the state of NOI right now? Isn't that exactly the state of it right now? No more calling devils, right? They openly said, we ain't about building nation anymore. We're about self-improvement. Ain't that what they've been saying lately? Self-improvement. Scientology, Sunnism, strictly religious. Sunnism, strictly religious. And separate. We're not going anywhere. Ain't that Farrakhan? We're not going anywhere. We don't have no separate nation. Isn't that exactly what they're doing right now? This is our documents on their page. Isn't that exactly the state of the nation Islam right now? We ain't going nowhere. That's the race hate. That's the separation thing. Bring devils in NOI. They're not devils anymore. That's the race hatred part, right? Okay. Scientology, self-improvement, Sunnism, just religious. I'm just giving you the facts, brothers and sisters. So they said they need a plan to make this happen. That's exactly the state of NOI right now. That means they must have got to the person that's running it. Because if Farrakhan the one that's doing this, he says Elijah Muhammad told him not to call devils devils no more. That's a lie. He wants to bring devils in the eye. That's totally against what Elijah Muhammad, that's what Muhammad taught. He's teaching Scientology. He's not building any nation. He said we're not going anywhere. That's totally a different direction than Elijah Muhammad taught. Totally. It's a document, brothers and sisters. It's on his website. In this connection, right, Chicago should consider after counterintelligence action what counterintelligence action might be needed, right, now or at the time of Elijah's Muhammad's death to bring about such a change in NOI philosophy. Important considerations should be to include the identity, strength, and weakness of any contenders for NOI leadership. That means we got to find somebody that can fulfill those needs. We got to use anything that we can against them, right, to make them do it. Find whatever leverage, something about them, whatever, to make them do it. Okay. What are the What are the positions of our Bureau deletion? That makes that black that out, right? Informants in regard to leadership. In other words, they got informants, and they got informants in the NOI. They had informants at the time, and they want them to explain, tell them, get them information, report back to them, tell them, give them in regard to this, right? How could potential leaders be turned or neutralized? How could potential leaders, in other words, the informants have to come and get them intel. How could they find someone who could be turned or neutralized? In other words, take the NOI in that direction they wanted to go. You can read the rest of it. Yeah, but that should be the end of it right there. That should be the end of it right there. If you about the truth. If you're about the truth, that should end of it right there. But if you're still with him, you're either a demon or idiot. You don't care about the truth. Demons, they have to stick with him, but they have no choice. We don't want them. Master don't want them. See? Let me check something here. Well, Master don't want them. See? Check something here, brothers and sisters. Okay. Master don't want them. So they have no choice. They have to go along with this. You understand? But I'm just, like I said, stop the bullshit. We're just telling you the facts. And you can find this document on their website. Don't say I made this up, I drew this up myself. This is an FBI document, but they have it on their website, which is remarkable, right? Because what does that mean? Because I guess that could sound like double psychology type of thing, right? Reverse psychology. But since we have on the website, it means we're really not doing it. But the fact is, that's exactly what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing. Okay, so let's move on. So they talk about a few things here. We have a few bullet points here. Does this is one strategies they're going to take, right? Does Elijah? So in other words, legal action against NOI on the death of his leadership. These depends on answers. Okay, legal action against NOI on the death of his leader, from Elijah Muhammad, depends on the answers to the several questions. So they're doing an analysis here because they're very analytical, right? Does Elijah have a will? Is the NOI incorporated? See, that was one of the big problems they had. See, I was there. See, they say Elijah Muhammad was stealing people's money. No, you see, he was building stuff. The money he came in, he was actually building things. See, because I lived in a complex. It wasn't a gated community, but it was a cold complex on 87th Street, across the street from I forgot the name of that school, right? I forgot the name of the school, but it was a whole complex, and I lived in there, and it was a beautiful place, and the rent was very reasonable, right? And I also worked at the Nation of Islam um, press. I was a foreman at a night shift, right? And I shopped at your supermarket and your fish market, and we went to Salon Restaurant and also the stores. You see, so I had and I got my car through the Nation Islam Bank. So I had very little contact with Caucasians, almost virtually none. This Elijah Muhammad provided all these things, and I was happy to sell 300 papers a week and do all the things they asked me to do, which was a lot, because I saw the results. I saw how I was benefiting from it. See? So when he departed, they thought all this stuff would be in his name, but it turns out he didn't have it in his name. He had in the Nation of Islam name, and that's where his family got pissed off, because they thought that when he got all that money was going to go to him. He had a will and figure all the money would go to them, and they went in the court to tell. They went in the court, and first of all, they had to neutralize Farrakhan because he was the top spokesman, so people assumed he would take charge. But they had a space. We talked that fool, because he's a coward anyway, to back off, because he had what they call standing. See, standing means basically, in short, right? If you get a case, the case has to affect you somehow. Otherwise, you don't have any standing. You see, you can't go to court and say, okay, I'm going to court. I'm press charge this person because he stole from somebody else. You have no standing. The person that got was stole from, they have to make the case, unless the police is involved. You understand what I'm saying? So he had standing because he was the top spokesman. So he was the representative. He had standing, so he could go in the court. But he didn't do that because he let Wallace, and Wallace was officially out on time. He was banned. He was exiled from the Nation of Islam for teaching Sunnism. I was there present. So how in the hell did he take charge? Because Farrakhan's a coward. He said he didn't he wanted a bloodbath. Oh, so in other words, if there's going to be fire, there's going to be blood spilled, you can't stand for the truth. Is that way, that's the way it rolled. That's the way Prophet Muhammad rolled. That way all other prophets rolled. Because, oh man, somebody might get hurt, so we better stop telling the truth. See? So they took it because they was pissed off because they said, that's our money. So once they got, Farrakhan's the only one had standing. Once they pushed him aside, they went to court and said, no, that money belongs to us. We the family. It was our father, and that's how they got control of all the money. And they liquidate everything. That's how they did it. See? If Farrakhan, he thought, oh, the FBI took down the Nation of Islam. That's bull. I was there. They took it down. They took it, destroyed it, got rid of the Nation of Islam, called something Bilalian they started up. It was no Islam. That's why I said the great falling away came because there was no Nation of Islam. Elijah Muhammad was gone. So the NOI Incorporated, see, this is where, in whose name and where are the NOI bank assets accounts? See, that was all in the name of the NOI. It belonged to the believers, but they never got any of it. Because Wallace and his family got it, and they disappeared. All his family, except a few, Wallace, I think, was the only one stuck around. The rest of them disappeared. Nobody ever seen them anymore. They got that money and ran. And in fact, Ishmael, his student and spokesman, his family was hiding down in Mexico. Why they hiding down in Mexico? They're not Mexicans. Why was he hiding out in Mexico? Farrakhan had to go down, and once he came back with his BS, he had to go back and bring them back from Mexico. Why was he hiding out in Mexico? You see. In whose name are other assets such as mosque money, school buildings, the newspaper, Elijah Muhammad, homes, and NOI businesses? See, depending on the answer to these questions, probate law in Illinois and whether Chicago might have confidential source in probate administration tying up the NOI and probate administration might be possible. I'm not sure I read that properly. But in other words, they're going to, if this depends on how the situation is, they were going to say, oh, they weren't paying tax, they weren't all this stuff and everything. They would tie all that money up so it wouldn't be used anymore, and they could destroy the properties and everything else. That was the FBI. That was their plan. Chicago should examine the NOI from the above counterintelligence angle and advise Bureau considering the possibility of drawing a specific counterintelligence recommendation to be acted upon when necessary with various contingency covered. See? This is their plan. See? But this was only if they couldn't find someone to fill all the things they said before, stop the race hatred, separation, right? Uh, what was other things? Religious, self-help. But they're going. Then this was the backup plan here. But they found somebody because they Farrakhan has fulfilled everything they said on that first page. He filled all of it. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Do you think that the FBI just folded and walked away? Read this document carefully. Did not the FBI accomplish each of their goals? Did not Farrakhan deliver everything the FBI wanted? That's exactly what happened, brothers and sisters. This is not conspiracy theory. Look at the NOI right now, and doesn't it fit exactly into that suit that the FBI said? We ain't going nowhere. No separation. Devils ain't devils anymore. Right? We're not building up a nation anymore. We're in this self-improvement, Sunnism, Scientology. All you got to do is look at it. See, you got a lot of people up in there. It's like when Martin Luther King got killed for peace net, Promised Land speech told him don't do it, and he did anyway. Next day he was dead. Because they don't want you to know that you got a choice, brother and sister. They don't want you to know about the Promised Land. They don't know about the Abrahamic covenant. They don't want you to know about that. I ask people all the time, bros, and these bros, just educated, and some of them, they got a little something going. You ever heard Abrahamic covenant, brother? What's that? What's that? That's what the whole world is based on right now. That's why it's set false Israel. The claim that we're the true seed of Abraham. That's why it was set up. All this, what you see going on in the world right now, is because of Abrahamic covenant. Because we are the true seed of Abraham. And they're trying to cover it up. Because if we true seed of Abraham, that means who are they? That means they exactly what the Bible says. That they went out to steal, kill, and destroy. And that's exactly what they did. They stole this land. They killed all the inhabitants and they destroyed us. They did all over the world. When they came out of Europe 500 years ago, after 1,000 years in the Dark Ages, they call it Dark Age. They call it Dark Age. That's the pit. They're talking about chapter 20. That's what they did. See? But now, Elijah Muhammad came and said, no, y'all got it backwards. We too see Abraham. Then he had to count all that. So I'm not going into detail about that here, brothers and sisters, because I've talked about it in length in my previous presentations. But these are valid questions here. If you read the other thing and you ask your question ask yourself this: did not the FBI accomplish each of their goals? The one stated in that first chapter, in that first page. Did they not accomplish all those goals? And who's leading NOI promoting those goals? See, it's clear. So the way I was saying earlier, that like with Martin Luther King, when he get killed, they found out later, revealed that everybody around him was almost agents. Almost all the people that was around him on that balcony was FBI agents. And in the Nation of Islam, there was a lot of people there agents. And around Farrakhan, there's a lot of people there agents right now to make sure he stay on course. Keep an eye on him. And that Scientology thing, brothers and sisters, you have to do auditing. So auditing is like confession. Scientology is like a Catholicism 2.0. What is that? Right? Because you got to do this thing called auditing, which is basic confession. And you got to do that if you want to get anywhere in Nation of Islam. It means you got to sit and tell somebody all your secret. You got to be honest, otherwise they'll kick your ass out of there. You got to be honest. So now you tell where the information going. It's going to Farrakhan. Then he's got a hole in your ass. You tell him about what you did. You raped your baby. Well, because he says it. When he get out, he revealed, oh man, yeah, I know some of these brothers out here, man, they were sleeping with their daughters and stuff. How do you know that? Because these fools told it when they did the ordering. After 400 years of all the bullshit you went through, you still go for a flim-flam like this. And even when you have documents as clear as this, you're still going for that. You're still going for this flim-flam after 400-something years of all the worst hell impossible, dealing with the worst monster and beast ever walked the earth, and you go for a flim-flam like this? When it's so obviously clear? So here it is. We should plan to change the philosophy of NOI to one of strictly religious self-improvement orientation. Ain't that what Sunnism Scientology is? That was one of the points. We should plan to change the philosophy of the NOI to a strictly religious and self-improvement orientation. Didn't Farrakhan deliver? The Sunnis wasn't even allowed into the temple when Elijah Muhammad was around. Wasn't even allowed in. Didn't want them in. And Scientology was far. We were Scientology and Nation of Islam when Elijah Muhammad was around. Are you kidding me? I was there. I'm not talking out of my behind. I'm talking third, second hand. I was present, a living witness. I was with Elijah Muhammad from 70 to 75 till he departed. Deleting the race hatred. That's another point. Don't call devils devils anymore. Don't call devils devils anymore. Is that what Farrakhan said Elijah Muhammad told him? Yet, he didn't tell all the ministers have no recollection of that. But Farrakhan, I don't want you to call devils devils anymore. But he don't tell the rest of the ministers. So other ministers run around telling them to call devils devils. But Farrakhan's the only one that couldn't do it. Does that make sense to you, brothers and sisters? And as a matter of fact, Farrakhan kept calling devils devils for a while. And then he stopped doing it. So was he forgotten? I remember Elijah Muhammad told me that. Elijah Muhammad told him no such thing. Elijah Muhammad said in Theology of Time, his last, his last range of speeches before he left, he says, he made it very clear, I have not told any minister any secret wisdom, secret knowledge, anything is secret. He said it. So you dig it out and you see it. But that's what he says. Don't call devils devils anymore. And that's what exactly Elijah Muhammad called devils for 40-some years. In the lessons, and Master Muhammad was definitely hard on devils. And he said, you got to kill them all. He said they cannot be redeemed. But Farrakhan said, no, we're going to bring them to NOI. And now they ain't even devils anymore. He don't even just call them devils anymore. He said they ain't even devils anymore. Because we all devils. The devil in us. This is what they said they wanted. Deleting the separate nationhood aspects. Deleting the separate, in other words, we're a separate nation. And we, so really there's no Nation of Islam anyway, because everything just blended in. It's an organization. It's not really a nation. They're not building anything. And he says he's going to get you 6 states. Well, is he preparing for those 6 states? Is he preparing? That's some BS he's talking about. Is he preparing for that? If he's going to get you the 6 states he claims he's going to get, how come he's not having schools set for engineers and doctors and lawyers and architects, right? And engineers and so forth? So this was the FBI playlist, deleting their wish list, deleting the separate nature aspects. This is what we ain't going nowhere. That's what we tell you. We ain't going nowhere. There's no existing economic program. Isn't that exactly? Didn't he give them what they want? That's their wish list, and he fulfilled it. The reason why these facts are ignored is because those that surround him are demons, fools, idolaters, and FBI agents, agent handlers who make sure he stays on track. And that's a true statement. Because he's not teaching Elijah Muhammad. He's playing Elijah Muhammad's music, but you're not getting Elijah Muhammad's lyrics. Oh, we got Message of Black Men, we got Fall from America, we got He's Lived, we got Saved as a Ride, all that stuff. See, and he gives those books, but he don't expect you to read them. And if you read them, you definitely can't act on it, because he's teaching the totally opposite of everything you find in those books. They're telling you in the book that America's going to be destroyed. He's telling you we're going to stay here in America. He says God is going to take war, make war with America. He says no, America belongs to us. See, if America's under attack, then we should fight to save. Then you're going to be fighting against God. Because that's what those books tell you. And the Abrahamic covenant, he's calling God a liar. He's calling Master Muhammad a liar. He's calling Elijah Muhammad a liar, because he's calling the scripture a liar, because it said in the Abrahamic covenant that we will return after 40 years. It says 1619 to 2019, that's the 40 years. And after that, there'll be a plague that will kill the firstborn. 2020, what was that? COVID-19? Who was it killing? The elderly, that's the firstborn. It came right on time. That's a sign. And then there'll be 9 plagues that follow it. And we're going home. It says we'll go back and tell you where the promised land is. is in Arabia between Ethiopia and the Euphrates River. That's Arabia. And that's why the Sunnis are doing what they're doing, because they're paying them off. They involved in this too, because they don't want to come back to their land either. Now they were trying to convert you into Sunnism. When Sunnism, see, we're not the true owners of that land. See, they are. So that's why they want you Sunni, so you recognize it. But that's really their land. Everybody's against us, brothers and sisters. We paid the price to return. You know, the God said we would not return to have you. Listen to this statement. You would not return to have a thorough knowledge of yourself. He said return. That means go back home. That's what Abraham Cummins says. We return to the land. He says we the land is not ours. So Farrakhan says it's our land. But Scripture says not it's our land. It says at the end of it, we return home back to our land. I ain't making it. This is not calculus, brothers and sisters. This is not derivatives and integration, right? This is strict, right? This is this is 1 + 1 = 2 stuff. I'm not making it up. See? But you're still hanging with them. So you tell me if you're still hanging with them, listen to this. I don't know if you can hear this or not. I don't know if you can hear this or not. Return. Did you catch that, brothers and sisters? Elijah Muhammad is he wrong? He said, "You'd be fools. Your ancestors will call you fools to want to stay here in a land of our imprisonment." Now I don't know if you heard that or not, but I'm repeating it. You'd be fools to want to stay here in a land of our imprisonment. Farrakhan said, "We ain't going nowhere." But he said he represents Elijah Muhammad. But he's calling Elijah Muhammad a liar. He's calling Master Muhammad a liar because he said Elijah Muhammad said we'd be fools to want to stay here in the land of our imprisonment. The ancestors would condemn us for wanting to stay here and be fools to stay here. I'm not making this up, brother. That's Elijah Muhammad speaking right now. I don't know if you heard it, but it's on the internet. It's on YouTube, and if you text me, if you I'll send you a copy. I'll message you a copy if you want it. Did you get that? He'd be that race mixing should be prohibited. That's what he says. But that's what Farrakhan says, because he wants to bring devils in NOI. And if the devils come in NOI, that means the FOI and MDT. So you're going to say this devil, FOI, can't marry that original sister, because they sister and brothers now. And in fact, you have that going on, because you have Mexicans coming in, they're not our race, and they're marrying sisters. And you understand? So that's Farrakhan's NOI. Elijah Muhammad said it should be prohibited. We should be mixing races. But that's not, so Farrakhan says teaching Elijah Muhammad's teachings, well, we listen to Elijah Muhammad here. So I guess Elijah Muhammad, I mean, boy, maybe we misinterpret what Elijah Muhammad's saying. Maybe he's saying, and we just don't understand what he's saying, and there's some super meaning that we're missing. Okay, brothers and sisters. There you go. Now, I just gave you the facts that you can easily, if you're interested, check. And if you want to still believe in him after that, that's your business, right? But I just spent you the facts. They're easy. This is 2 plus 3 equals 5. But some of you think 2 plus 3 is 23. That's just gave you the facts, brothers and sisters. Just those facts alone is enough to know this is shit here. See, he's a liar. That's why it says he was disemboweled. He was disemboweled because he's a liar. Read Malachi. See, it says you had the messenger, you had the messenger of the covenant, and you had God. You have a third person who said he was cursed with a curse because he was robbing the nation. That means he had to be somebody in authority to rob the nation. And you say Elijah Muhammad's robbing the nation? You say Master Muhammad's robbing the nation? No, he's robbing the nation. He's living a luxurious lifestyle, pimping the sisters. He's getting this money between my economic program for years. And did you see the economic program? But he's living a luxurious lifestyle. And so I said he would be cursed with a curse. Now you tell me, you know what disembowelment means? Check it out. He's been disemboweled. He's pissing his shit in the bag. You know, he has balls removed. Now tell me, any man out there, if you had a choice between that and being nailed to the cross or being electrocuted, which one would you choose? Which one would you choose? I would guarantee you that almost to a T, that every man that you ask, unless they totally out of their mind, would say, bring on the nails for the cross, or bring on the electricity for the well, for the electric chair. If you're talking about that's what I gotta, if that's what I'm going to get. He's cursed with a curse. That is a curse. You can't recover from that. You know, you can be chastised, but a curse is something you can't recover from. Okay, brothers and sisters. Like I said, I explained it to you. I just show you the facts. See, I just show you the facts. We're not trying to convince you anything. We're just telling you the facts. We give you the facts here, brothers and sisters. This is the no bullshit zone. This is the fires. This is the fire zone. You understand? This is a no bullshit zone. Stop the bullshit. We just get information. We don't go out trying to convince you, distort the scriptures, distort information, propaganda. We don't do that here. We just give you the facts. Now I said, this document I gave you, you can also, that last Elijah Muhammad, this on YouTube, you can go ahead and look at it. That's his voice. That's what he said. Is that what Elijah, is that what Farrakhan teaching? What he said? It's totally opposite. And then a document about the COINTEL program, right? Right? That's on Farrakhan's website, NOI website. So you don't have to go look for it. It's right there. And it tells you what the FBI goals are, and it tells you the state and if Islam, those goals were met. And who met those goals? Farrakhan. So who is he working for? Who is he representing? Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. So I'm going to leave it there. See? We're going to leave it there, brothers and sisters. See? Fire zone out. But the last thing I want to say here, brothers and sisters, right, is that either you about the truth or you ain't. We know demons, they stuck with that. But you're either about the truth or you're not about the truth. I just gave you the facts. You didn't have to call it truth, just facts. See? That you can easily check. Now he's going to be out there tomorrow with his BS on his last speech. And I guarantee you, if you pay attention, he's going to humiliate himself. See? But he's saying it's not just for black people. See, he's supposed to, it was a message to the black man in America. See, that's the message Elijah Muhammad had. See? But he says, no, he wants all people. Because remember, he's supposed to save America. See, that's all one of the things he's supposed to be doing. See? Because he had all these things he's supposed to do, and he's been saying the last 40 years, he hasn't accomplished any of them. He's supposed to save America, redeem America, right? He's supposed to get us across the river. He's supposed to give these 6 or 7 states. So all these things he said he was supposed to, he hasn't done any of them. The only thing he does is enrich himself, enrich his family. And see, they're already preparing, because he didn't do like Elijah Muhammad. All the money is in his name. See, so he ain't gonna make that mistake. That's because he says it's a mistake. So family gonna divvy up the money, and you won't hear from no more with his departure. But he's not gonna go that easy. See, because he's on his deathbed. This year he's finished. He will not make it to next year. He might not even make it to tomorrow, right? Because he can't walk. He's a borderline senile. See, he's probably gonna read a teleprompter tomorrow. I don't know how he's gonna be pathetic. That's for sure. So, brothers and sisters, I just presented the facts. Now, if you're about facts, there you go. If you're not about facts, hey, this was something just to annoy you. See, oh, he's speaking bad about Farrakhan. He's speaking bad about my idol, the anointed. Whatever, brothers and sisters. Whatever. Hi, salam alaikum.